not all the candidates announced in Iowa, and my next guest did so in Fargo, North Dakota, and probably makes sense. He is the governor of North Dakota, and Mark was just mentioning him, Doug Burgum, who joined the race today. Governor, good to have you.
Neil, great to be with you, and it's not quite like old home week, but I think first time I was on the air with you was several decades ago when I was still in the tech industry, and we'd perhaps maybe just gone public.
Yeah, I do remember quite well, and you've done okay for yourself, Governor. Congratulations. But I did enjoy your column today in the Wall Street Journal, where you talked a little bit about yourself and where you started. My hometown, Arthur, North Dakota, is a small farming community where woke was something you did at 5 a.m. I kind of enjoyed that. But how do you differentiate from the pack? You're obviously a very successful businessman, of course, at Great Plains Software when you sold it to Microsoft. I mean, you made a lot of money. You're a very wealthy guy. But, you know, the rap against you is a lot of people are not familiar with you. And you've got 11 others in this race, and that's just for now. They're better known. What do you say?
Well, when we ran for governor in 2016, we had the same remarks. We were coming from the private sector. We were the unknown. We were down 69-10 in the polls in January. The primary was 6 months later. We ran our operation like a high-tech startup running against sort of an old approach to politics, and we ended up winning that primary at 60-40. So we are excited, looking forward to the opportunity to take the story to the American people. And this is the starting point that we are, and it's not anything that really concerns us, because even when I know back when we were in business, the first time I went to a trade show, there were 64 software companies at Comdex that had basically the same business plan. And you don't spend your time talking about the other competitors. You spend your time making sure that you got the best product, the best service, the best value for the customer, and focus on your own message. And that's what we're going to be doing to kick off this race.
Well, Kevin O'Leary, I know Mr. Wonderful is a big fan of yours. He said you're a proven track record. You created something out of nothing, and of all places, North Dakota, which is a beautiful state, I might add, but you wouldn't think of it as a computer juggernaut. But I just wonder, in this day and age, Governor, where there's a push to get even bigger business guys in the race, much has been mentioned of Jamie Dimon, of J.P. Morgan Chase, and others. There's a connection Americans have with successful businessmen and women, but there's also, I like to think, not fairly, but a love-hate relationship, that they admire successful types such as yourself, but they wonder, how can that guy relate to me? What do you say?
Well, I think that part's pretty easy. I mean, I grew up in the small farming community, grew up farming, working at the local grain elevator. You know, some of the work we did there should be featured on the Discovery Channel's Dirtiest Jobs. It is, you know, in college, helped pay through college. I was literally a chimney sweep working my way through college. And I think, you know, someone who grew up, I had a job where you took a shower at the end of the day, not at the beginning of the day. And I think it's totally relatable. And I'm excited about getting to Iowa, talk to the folks there, because our two economies and our two states are similar. Of course, North Dakota, we're a big energy state in addition to the biofuels that Iowa has. But, you know, small towns, New Hampshire, small town values really resonate. And I think that we're going to have a great reception down there.
Would you, if you don't make it as the Republican nominee, would you support the person who eventually is?
Yeah, absolutely we would. And let's just, I mean, if you want, people want to learn more about our campaign, DougBurgum.com. But I mean, come and learn about why Joe Biden should be a one-term president, because we're going to be very focused on three things in our campaign. One is the economy, number two is energy policy, and three is national security. And you might say, why those three? Well, first of all, our energy policy, the Biden administration, is so 180 degrees backwards. I mean, here we are. We're asking our adversaries and our enemies to produce more energy, when we, the United States, where we produce it cleaner, smarter, safer than anywhere else, we should be not only providing all the energy to the U.S., we should be providing it to all of our allies. If you cared about the environment, you would want to have every drop of energy produced in the U.S. And that, if we're doing that, Putin doesn't invade Ukraine if he doesn't have all of Western Europe hooked on his natural gas. Global stability, world peace is driven and has been for the last 75 years by U.S. energy policy, and the Biden administration has got that completely backwards.
You know, you do mention there we need to stop buying energy from our enemies and start selling it to our friends. A lot of common sense solutions here, but I get back to, again, Governor, despite your success, you're well known in the business community, well respected in the business world, your emergence as the governor of your fine state. But that this is Donald Trump's year, or maybe Ron DeSantis' year. You're not seen in that first tier. Things could and likely will change. That's the history of these things. But how do you break through? I mean, you have to, get at least 1% support, show at least 40,000 individual donors, and all. You know the drill. How do you make the stage?
Well, first of all, we're going to make it because there are so many people that are interested in the issues that we're talking about, the things that we're talking about, the kitchen table issues, inflation, gas prices, safe cities, addiction, those things that are touching every American family. The things that matter the most number of people are what we're going to be talking about. And again, if they want to learn more about that, DougBurgum.com, and we're completely confident that we're going to be on the debate stage in August.
All right, you're very good at just getting that word out there. But Governor, let me ask you another thing. I mean, if you were the nominee and you were facing, let's say, Joe Biden, no guarantee that would be the case, but he has said that the wealthy aren't paying their fair share, that it's high time wealthy, in fact, by extension, guys like you, very wealthy, pay their fair share. What would you tell him in a debate?
Well, this would have to be a math quiz, because we know that the people that have been the most successful in this country pay the vast majority of all the income taxes in this country. And we had this debate in North Dakota this year. We won that debate. We said, look, the best level of income tax is zero for everyone. We passed the largest tax cuts in the history of the state of North Dakota. And you say, well, how can you do that? At the same time, we're funding education, behavioral health, infrastructure record levels. The way you do that is with growth. It's with growing the economy. And we've got a great opportunity. If we can unleash American energy, if we can unleash this economy, get it out from the red tape, the mountains of red tape that the Biden administration is bearing on people, that's going to be the solution for our country going forward. And we know that what we've done for North Dakota, where we're on track to have the highest GDP of any state in the nation, we've done that here. We know that we can do that for America.
All right, Governor, we're going to keep a close eye on you. Enjoyed your opening announcement today from North Dakota. Haven't seen that every day. Doug Burgum, the latest Republican presidential candidate. There will be others, no doubt.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.